Can you help me? Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. Can you help me? Can you help me? Because they're basically occupying our brains. Definitely occupying our brains. Pretty much everything that they do is for that purpose, is to occupy our minds, occupy all of our thoughts, occupy all of our days, occupy everything. And we're not even occupying Wall Street anymore. Not even occupying Wall Street. What you doing, Floofer? Hi, bud. Come say hi. You come say hi. Yeah. You want one of these? You want one of these? Yeah. Stand for me. Good boy. There you go. So, yeah, this actually, I put it online this morning. Oh, goodness gracious. Small headphones. I'm just going to use small headphones so I'm not jacking up my hair so I can not have flat head when I go to class. Last few days, or yesterday, I had my headset on. I went to class and my hair was all pressed. And It's usually not a big deal, but I tend to run my hands through my hair, and if my hair is pressed, my hands get stuck. I have thick hair, really, really thick hair. It comes from me mother. Comes from me madre. Me mother. My mother has thick hair. But yeah, I run my hands through my hair all the time. And if it's pressed, it's like, it's hard to deal with. Or at least it's hard to run my hands through it because they'll get stuck. Because it's not matted, but it is matted, kinda. Ugh. Oh. There were some things that I did save last night. I think I watched Asman was talking about something, and then I ran into video. This one right here. Okay, we actually do want to watch this one because this is one of the ones we saved. It's on my other screen. But right now it's not that one, but that is one of the ones we're talking about. Going to talk about the Ghislaine Maxwell invoking Fifth Amendment. It's going to be one we're going to be talking about. So we have another one that we're going to be pulling in. I can drop that. Pull in our X. Okay, so the first thing is I'm going to try to do this quick before I got to head out to the bus for class. So the first thing we're going to do, first one we're going to go into is this one right here. This is what I left off on last night before I went to bed. I didn't leave off on stream, but I was watching this. I started watching this last night before I went to bed. So we're going to get into it and listen to what this is about, because this should not be able to happen. Well, that goes against human rights. Well, she's a prisoner. Her rights are basically null and void. What has she done that's proved that she is allowed to have the over-encompassing amounts of human rights? Because again, her and her cohort and the rest of them, let's not play coy, her and the probably hundreds of high-profile people don't deserve rights. They've been stripping the rights of young women, children, and babies for longer than I've been alive, and that's 40 years. And that's all 40 of my existing years. So allowing her to plead the Fifth is unacceptable. She and people like her are the instance in which your rights can be taken from you. You don't get to invoke the Fifth Amendment having phallicized our Constitution. You've made a mockery of our entire democracy, our entire system, and you think that it is acceptable to allow her to invoke her Fifth Amendment rights. She doesn't have rights. For one, she's not American. Let's get that straight. Ghislaine Maxwell is not American. She doesn't hold American values. She doesn't hold American ideologies. She is not American. So giving her American rights just because she has citizenship here is unacceptable. You revoke her citizenship, you revoke her rights, and you make her tell everything she knows. There is no such thing as Fifth Amendment rights. And if she doesn't want to do that, then you take her pardon. Her pardon should only be in effect and in existence on the stipulation that she opens up her mouth and blows all the whistles. She doesn't want to do that. She invokes her Fifth Amendment rights. Well, guess what? Your rights are now taken. Your citizenship is now taken, and you're no longer a citizen of the United States. You are now a prisoner of the United States. And if your country wants you back, they can lobby for you. You want to change that status? Open up your face hole. Open up your face hole and start talking. You don't get Fifth Amendment rights. You don't get to do this. You are not an American citizen.
Breaking news developments following Ghislaine Maxwell's virtual hearing, and I did want to share this with you right here. This is from Fox News correspondent Chad Pergram saying that Fox is told that Ghislaine Maxwell has invoked the Fifth during her virtual deposition.
Unacceptable.
Before the Oversight Committee.
They should have stopped her right there and said, nope, sorry, you can't do that. You're not an American citizen. And when she says, well, I do have citizenship, you pull up her citizenship and you shred it. You no longer have citizenship here. You're a prisoner of here, but you are not a citizen here. If your country wants you, they can lobby for you. And if they lobby for you, they better be ready to turn over the information that you got. That's how that should go. We should not be allowing a non-citizen to invoke citizens' rights because she's not a citizen any longer. No. If it was up to me, she'd be put on a boat in international waters, and that's where her prison sentence would be held out. She would be holding out her prison sentence in the middle of the water on a place like the Raft. That's where all these people need to go. A place like the Raft, where they live underwater, and the only daylight they get to see is when the raft comes above water and they open up the ceiling and they all get to look out at the sky, hundreds of feet in the air. Yes, that's what these people that's what should be happening to these people. In which you make them throw each other under the bus. You strip her of her citizenship and any rights she thinks she has. All of those people start to eat each other alive. All of them. Because they know they aren't safe. They know they aren't safe. No one is talking right now because they all know they're safe. They all have their friends looking out for them. Their friends are the ones investigating them. Their friends are the ones asking the questions. Their friends are the ones that they're holding up in depositions. She should not be allowed to invoke rights that don't belong to her. She is not an American citizen. Not at all. No. She committed these crimes. Her citizenship is gone. She is now a prisoner of America, not a citizen of America. In prison. No, she is not a citizen any longer. And if it was up to me, it would be that way. She would be stripped of her citizenship, and any person, part of it, gets stripped of your citizenship. You don't get rights. You took the rights of people, of countless people. You don't get rights of your own. This is unacceptable. This is wholeheartedly unacceptable. And everybody who allowed this to happen should be held in contempt. You should be held and in a cell. You should be in a cell right next to her. You allowed her to do this. And even then, you allowed her to keep her citizenship. She should not have her citizenship any longer. And once she serves out her term, if that's even possible, should not even be possible. She should be living the rest of her days in a prison cell. She should be locked down, solitary confinement, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. This is the only punishment for these people, next to being put to death. You get a choice. Live in that tiny little shoebox for the rest of your life, or have your head cut off. Those are the two, should be the two options for these people. Live in a box the size of a shoebox the rest of your life, being fed through a slot in a door, or you get your head cut off. This is where we should bring in our more baser primal instincts. They want to do that. Again, it's what's insane. You're gonna fight fire with fire. We're not fighting fire with fire. We cut one of these people's heads off, we're making a statement. If you are guilty of this stuff, you may as well go somewhere else, because you will have your head cut off. It's not a political statement. It's a protecting our people statement. You want to hurt our people? I don't care if you are one of our people. You will have your head cut off. Or you get to live in a box the size of this glass. That's it. You get to live in a box the size of this glass. You get no freedom, no outside. You don't get to breathe true oxygen. You get to breathe your own farts and your own stank breath. That's what you get to breathe. And you better hope you don't poop so much, because you'll be living with that too, because conveniently your toilet will be stopped up. And it won't be. It'll just, there's a plug in the base of your toilet piping to where I pull a lever, push a lever, and it closes and opens it. A quarter of your day is spent sniffing turds. So you better hope your bowel movements are under control. That's what these people deserve. And any people that do anything like that, you deserve the same. You don't deserve to sit and lift weights and play basketball and read. And no, if you are heinous to people, you get to live in a hole the size of this glass. We need to stop with this.
Committee about the Epstein files. She was providing that from her cell in Florida. So we did want to share that with you. Meanwhile, we were also hearing from House Oversight Chair James Comer, and we did want to play out his remarks for you right now.
That every American has, questions that would be very important in this investigation, and she chose to invoke her Fifth Amendment rights.
Mr. Chairman, clarify what her lawyer said about President Trump and Clinton, and do you think that there's anything more to do with Ghislaine Maxwell now that she pled the Fifth?
What? You correct me if I'm wrong. Just to be clear, what her attorney said, Maxwell didn't say. Her attorney said that.
And again, legal representation should be given. American legal representation should be given to American citizens. She should no longer be allowed to claim American status. All of her citizenship should be 100% revoked. And she should have to provide a lawyer from her own country. The only country that will allow her to claim status there. Because I guarantee her home country doesn't want her back. Guarantee her home country does not want her back. So let somebody like Iran claim her. Because we all know the IRGC, they're all about heinous crimes against humanity. I'd say the other country, but I might get canceled when I go head to class, and I would like to live at least some more life. Well, yeah, make whatever country that wants to claim her, make them send her representation. We shouldn't be providing her with a lawyer. Like, we need to stop giving people who are disgusting human beings a foothold anywhere. It's why these people are allowed to do what they do, and they continue to do what they do. Because nobody is held accountable. And people want to say, well, you're just a naysayer. You're just a Debbie Downer. You're just a bad news bears. A fuss Gus. No, I'm not. I'm realistic. I can see how these patterns have continuously played out for decades. It's the same pattern. It's literally the same pattern. An evil, despicable human being is finally put to justice, but they're not. They're not. They're put in a daycare center for adults. They're allowed to invoke my STFU rights. And I don't have to answer any questions about anything. While at the same time being pardoned by the President of the United States. Being pardoned for whatever. Again, this is all show. This is all a show. This is all theater. And it's not good theater. It's bad theater. Like, theater is supposed to be some type of comedy, some type of tragedy, or a mixture of both. We're not even in either of those. This isn't even tragic. And it sure as hell ain't funny. So what kind of theater are we really playing here? What kind of theater are you all actually performing? Because it's neither a tragedy nor a comedy. And people, you could say, it is a tragedy. Look what's happening to our great country. It's not a tragedy. Because a tragedy would mean that we actually had a stake in the game. There were hopes to be dashed away. This is proving that hope was all a fabricated facade anyway. Hope is just something that we buy at Walmart for $2.50 a piece. Hope isn't real. This is what we're being told, that hope is not real. It is what you can buy and afford to buy. That's all hope it really is. So call me a naysayer, a Debbie Downer, a bad news bears. You're just in a fuss, Gus. Oh, wow. My realism will keep me from buying into nonsense for the sake of blissful ignorance. Because I'll be damned if the moment I land back on Earth, I'm going to be swooped up by a Karen and Karenized for the rest of my life. I'll create my own Karenism before I let that happen. Don't eat the dirt, man. The bag of dirt is from a plant. It's not for you to eat, bro. Yeah, chew on the box. It's just, it's insane. It is absolutely insane that she was even able to invoke any type of rights, being who she is and what she's involved in. And still involved in, I don't care. When you're a rich and powerful person, you don't lose your connections. They just teach you how to hide it better when you get out. Like the difference between a gang member / somebody that got caught up in the streets and these people is when a gang member or somebody that gets caught up in the streets, when they get out of prison, they have nothing. They have nothing to fall back on. They're starting literally at square one, negative 15. They got to roll a crit pass 50 times before they even hit zero. But these people, they're still showing how powerful they are from behind bars. Like, she's still showing you what kind of power she holds from behind bars. And it could be argued, well, no, this is how the justice system works. So you're saying that the rights of someone who, for all we know, could have been part of the eating of the babies, not just raping and murdering them, but she could be part of the crew that eats them too, sacrifices them to whatever weird deity. For all we know, that's what she is. That's who she is. And if she was to talk about any of that, then everybody that's part of that would be gone. So no, she does not deserve the rights of an American citizen, especially the ones that she's stolen the rights from. All these young women, children, and babies that she has literally stolen the rights from. You're giving her their rights again. You're giving them right back to her. You're telling her, don't worry, you just be quiet. We've got this under control. We've been figuring it out while you're behind bars. Seeing as you're being tried, you were tried in an American justice system, you have rights to the American amendments. Just invoke the Fifth. Just use your Fifth Amendment right. Even though you're not an American citizen, you're basically a foreign actor. In my mind, she is a foreign actor of a foreign government sent here to destabilize our country as a whole, not just destabilize our government, to destabilize our country. Because a lot of people are going to, I guarantee you, her doing that split a lot of people. Like, are you serious? How could she invoke a right that she should not be entitled to? Then there's people like, well, yeah, human rights. And then we got people back and fighting with one another. Because this foreigner is allowed to invoke our rights. We may as well give her Social Security. Start paying her from our tax system. We may as well let her vote from prison. Because I can bet you she's got better health care than I do. I bet you she's got better health care than all these American citizens around here. She's probably got better life insurance coverage, health coverage, dental coverage. I wonder how much her glasses are costing these days. They might be less than $1,000, but I guarantee you they're no less than $100. Her free pair of eyeglasses is probably like $400 pair of glasses that she gets unlimited warranties on. They probably treat her like old Roman royalty, bringing in a whole turnstile of glasses. Like, which one would you like? Pick out the one you would like. Oh, and we also got these pardons over here. Which pardon would you like? Oh, yeah. Amendment guy, come in here, amendment guy. None of the amendments really stand for this case, except for the Fifth. We present to you the Fifth Amendment. Use it well and use it often. That's literally what just happened. She's being treated like royalty while being a heinous sex criminal. Like, I could only imagine the whole drama and ordeal if her and Epstein were caught by Rosen. I can only imagine if he was the one to catch him, what kind of ordeal they would have went into. Oh my God, Jeffrey, we're caught, Jeffrey. We need to flee. We need to escape the country, Jeffrey. So our bait teenager, you were talking about having babies, raping and eating the babies with our bait person. What do you have to say about that, Jeffrey? We need to flee, Jeffrey. I mean, the chick did flee. She did flee. And yet, she's being treated as if she's just a victim of Stockholm Syndrome. My father warned me about you, Jeffrey. You vile, vile man.
She would answer questions if she were granted clemency by the president
Trump,
and that she went on to say about Clinton and
but he went on to expand that. The other thing is,
see, these guys are all confused. They're not even on the same page. I guarantee at least one of them is ready to quit his job right now. One of these guys, I mean, don't look like him. It looks more like him. Like, he's like so thoroughly irritated and pissed off with the whole thing that he's ready to quit. He looks like he's ready to quit his job. And if he's acting, he's doing a damn good job, and somebody taught him well. Because he's the only one that looks really, really pissed off about what just happened. He looks like whatever. Time to try something new. This guy's like, it looks like he's looking past him to somebody way off here, making sure that both of these guys are staying on task. He's having such a hard time, which could be why he's stumbling over himself, and he has to take over. This guy's watching all the signals and cues from over here to make sure that this guy don't tell, because he's pissed. He seems really irritated. Like, what do we even have the system in place for if people who abuse the system are going to be continuing to just given platform to abuse the system? She literally is just being walked down the abuse the justice system aisle, taking all of it she can. I'm going to use this one. I'm going to use this one. I'm going to use this one. Man, you guys have such a great selection of justice system abuse in here. Like, it's unlimited. Yeah, only for our most prominent of people in society.
A number of times that she has a habeas corpus petition pending for a new trial and release, and that's why she is not going to answer questions.
Mr. Chairman.
What? Run that gobbledygook through me again?
By the President Trump.
And that she went on
Okay,
to say,
so we got the clemency. We already knew the clemency thing happened. She's all in all pardoned. She's not pardoned because she's still in jail. So it's basically just a clemency. For me, it's just a stupid, simple way of saying we're not going to cut her head off today. We're just going to set that for some time in the future when if we deem it necessary.
about Clinton and
but he went on to expand that. The other thing is he pointed out a number of times that she has a habeas corpus petition pending for a new trial
Okay. I'm not too keen on what habeas corpus is. Habeas. Yep, there it is. Habeas corpus, Latin for you have the body, is a fundamental legal procedure allowing detained individuals to challenge their confinement before a court, ensuring it is lawful. See, no. No, 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 no. And again, this, you want to know why our country is falling down. It's not because of Donald Trump. It's because of all of them. It's literally all of them. All of them are using our system that's meant to protect innocent people. They're using it to protect themselves while still committing crimes. And again, this is why we are doomed as a country. We are absolutely doomed as a country. We keep allowing these people to exercise rights that they should not be allowed to have. You should not be allowed to have these rights. You should not be able to challenge your confinement on whether it's legal or not. No, you're lucky you're not buried in a hole. You're lucky that these types of sex crimes don't carry a death sentence. You're lucky that being involved in a criminal sex organization / ring doesn't carry a death sentence. But no, they're being allowed to invoke the rights of the most innocent of person, knowing full well that they are guilty, and the only reason they're invoking those rights is because they know that they would bring down an entire system, which means she's being told, don't say anything because it's going to hurt a whole industry. We remember that stupid Karen lady saying it, telling Corey Hayes, don't say that, you're hurting a whole industry. But yet her stupid, ugly, wrinkled self is allowed to continue to spout that nonsense on TV, on your screens. You all know who it is. It's that ugly, nasty gargoyle on The View with the rest of them. And I thought didn't The View get canceled? How did they survive in the independent world? No, The View has not been canceled, which is why they're still able to spout their ugly, ridiculous rhetoric being pushed by useless gargoyles. All of those women are useless. You want a good TV show that kind of deals in more civil issues and talks about the stuff that The View talks about without the nonsense, just focusing on politics? Get anybody else other than them ladies. Anybody else. As a matter of fact, the application should be a questionnaire. And the questionnaire is kind of like, it's got a bunch of gotcha built into it, because what it's trying to do is trying to get them. It's trying to get the Karens to expose themselves. Because if you put in a bunch of scenarios and you purposely put in to where they have to make the people decision or the Karen decision. And if you take away their ability to hide in between that, you'll have much more successful TV. Well, then all the Karens won't be watching good. Karens shouldn't be allowed to do anything. Karens should be, they should be allowed to sit at home by themselves, shutting up, and not getting involved in anything. That's what Karen should be allowed to do. Nothing. They should be allowed to do nothing. And that's how you do it. Questionnaire full of scenarios. And the first Karen route they take. First Karen route. Because they can't help themselves. You bake in a bunch of self-righteous, self-centered ideology into that, and they cannot help themselves. They cannot help themselves. They will be easily found out, and yes, that would be the only thing we discriminate against as a collective. Karens. Karens deserve to be discriminated against. I mean, they sow seeds of chaos purposely every single day. So, yes, they wholeheartedly deserve to be judged. But then again, we're no better than them if we do start judging them. At that rate, just let them do what they want. And just put up protections against Karens and against Karenism. So that we're not having to worry about them treading over into anybody else's grass. Bitch, your grass looks brown because you're bad, not because the neighborhood decided to have you as the bad grass. Oh, I blame everybody else but myself because of things that are happening to me.
And release, and that's why she is not going to answer questions.
Mr. Chairman, Mr. Chairman.
It's unacceptable.
I know that those conversations are ongoing. They would like them to be public. Is your understanding still that we're looking at those same February dates and they're going to be private?
Yeah, that's what they agreed to, and they will be public, just like this will be public hopefully very soon. We've released every transcript and every video and audio of every deposition we've done since I've been chairman of the committee.
On subpoenas, Mr. Chairman, does the committee have any plans to subpoena Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick, given the revelations
We're
about
going to
his
try to get
relationship?
these 5 nailed down. We've got a lot of very important people we're trying to bring in to answer questions. We don't want to do anything to jeopardize the 5 that we have on the book. So we'll see what happens here.
Well, the crazy thing is like a suspect in any other crime. Take away their profile. Say a regular suspect is out committing sex crimes, like heinous sex crimes, and they're actually involved in a low-level sex crime organization. Do you think these people are going to be allowed to roam free, corroborate each other's stories, build up alibis, and otherwise flee the country? No, they're going to be yanked up off the streets, pulled into a tiny little room, and questioned for hours. They're going to hold them for the entire period in which they're legally allowed to hold them. That's what would happen to a low-level criminal, to a low-level sex offender. But giving high-profile people, no. Again, it goes back to you don't get to run in these high-level circles talking to each other and not know what's going on. And like, put it this way. If you say, well, not all celebrities talk to one another, then explain to me why people like Robin Williams happened the way he happened. Because I don't care. Robin Williams didn't commit suicide because he was just overly depressed in regular life. Me personally, I believe he committed suicide because he saw that no matter how much joy he brought to the world, the people who call themselves his co-workers are going to push even more evil into the world. And that destroys a person. Knowing that everything you do is for naught. It's just you making money for the machine. It doesn't mean anything, no matter how much it means to you. Well, no, Robin Williams is just mentally ill. And then you're going to call Jim Carrey just mentally ill? You're going to call Dave Chappelle just mentally ill? You're going to call every other person who's not actually committed suicide, but who's also been saying the same things, you're going to call them mentally ill too. Again, this is the evidence of why I say we are doomed. We are doomed. This is the new Simpsons telling us what's coming for the future. And the future is, no matter what, people in this space will protect the people in the other space. This is what this is. This is what I'm saying. This is the starting message of the day. Is that no matter how bad the people, the prominent people in that space are, they'll be protected. They'll always be protected by the people in this space. The political space will protect the evil space forever. I say that not as a and not in a nihilistic way. There's nothing we can do. No, there's a lot we can do. And I've said it multiple times. Their little election that they want to hold, don't show up. I'll be there because I work them. But don't go there because it doesn't mean anything. Yes, you'll be paying a bunch of people to work an election for nothing. But you know what? That will be the statement itself. You would much rather pay an entire group of people to work an election doing nothing than to show up to it and vote for free. That's what that's the statement. We will no longer buy into what you're selling. We are now turning the other direction and buying into our people instead. Yes, the results will stand. Oh, but you know what will happen as well? It'll all be flimsy. It won't actually hold. And for the next sum of time, it'll all be investigated, scrutinized, and if it happens, it comes down. Because it needs to. The country and the people will survive. We don't survive because our government exists. We survive because we allow this country to exist. Because the moment we start fighting each other, we literally give up the country. We will give up the country. If we actually go back to fighting each other in a mass scale, we will give this country up. And it's not to a foreign, it is to a foreign nation, but it's to our own people lobbying for foreign nations. That's what we will be doing. We'll be giving it up to people who have nothing but the worst intent for us. Do not show up to the next election. I don't care who you support. For the until they start listening to us again, they do not get to have us at their parties. And I can guarantee you, they'll start to notice where all the fun actually was within their party. It was us all along, the people, the weirdos, the QAnons, the overly religious types, the non-religious types, the gays, the non-gays, the I don't know what I ams, the I know exactly what I ams, the children, the adults, the old people, everybody who actually matters here will matter again when we tell them we are not going to your party anymore. And we don't just say it, we show it. We show it by not showing up. We continue to hurt them in their businesses by by stopping the constant buying of drivel products. You go back to buying only what you need, their worlds start to crumble. And you'll watch as some new thing pops up that conveniently pushes you. It's meant to push you into a store to compulsively buy everything you think you might need for the end of the world. If we stop them there, we will regain control. But we can't do it if we keep allowing these people to protect these people. Because we should be like the peacefulness in my rabbit laying at my feet. This is kind of like what we are meant to be doing. Working hard, not for our death day, but working hard to be able to sit back and watch innocence just be peaceful. Watch innocence just grow and evolve on its own without some heinous intervention. It's what we should be doing. We shouldn't be having to worry about somebody who doesn't deserve rights invoking them and a body of people protecting them. Instead, we're worried about a halftime show. We're worried about whether some Spanish-speaking halftime show was better or worse than some hillbilly halftime show. Like, who cares? It's sports ball. It's sports teams ball. It all doesn't matter. It literally does not matter. Right now, sports ball, the Super Bowl, Bad Bunny versus TPUSA, none of that matters. None of it matters. Because I can guarantee you, Bad Bunny's message had nothing to do with the Epstein files. I can guarantee you that TPUSA's ultimate message wasn't the Epstein files and starting the healing process of our country, even if it was about faith. I don't care. Faith isn't what's going to save our country. God isn't going to be what saves our country. We, the people, are going to be what saves our country. Believing in God is going to save you a peace of mind. Holding out hope that God saves humanity, is just your peace of mind. It's not going to actually happen. It's not what happens. Well, God puts people in place. No, God doesn't. People who were sick and tired of the same things, they're the ones that fix things. Whatever, they think God pushed them in that direction. No, God didn't. You can believe in God. You can believe in Jesus. You can believe in all of this. But humans, us, the people, we're going to be the ones that have to fix this. And that's why it continues down the paths it continues down. Because we're constantly sitting and waiting for God to fix it for us. We're waiting for God to step in and do something. We think that our belief in Jesus Christ as our Lord and Savior, Christ is King, we believe that that is what's going to get us through to the future. It's good to believe in it while you're going there, but you got to get you there. Believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. If you start believing in yourself, then these things start to not sound so good no more. They start to sound like things that you can't just stand by and let happen anymore. But you have to step out of your church. Step out of your comfort zone. Step out of your blissful ignorance and your peace of mind. Step into the real world. Because we need you here. They're laughing in our face while they protect these people. They're not even doing it poetically anymore. Oh, cool. He made sure to lay down and plop on my foot to show me that he loves me. I love him too. I love the little guy. I don't remember there being a dispute on this one. What was it? Oops. I think it was the TPUSA thing. Maybe. Maybe not. I don't know. No, wait. No, something different. No, this is the TPUSA one. Okay, so that one's a different one. I'm just waiting for these things to fall off. I just got an email about it. Yeah, we need to stop allowing these people to protect these people.
To anyone that might have any information that would help us get justice for the survivors. Yes.
Mr. Chairman, thank you. On the disagreement with the Clintons about closed-door videotape testimony versus public hearing, are you concerned this will be enough to restart contempt proceedings, or do you think you'll come to a resolution?
I mean, they said they agreed to a standard deposition. That's what a standard deposition is. Every time I've come out here for a press gaggle with you all, we've had a standard deposition. So this is how depositions work, and it will be made public. So they want a public.
I don't know why they keep trying to get him in a gotcha about it being public. He's already said it's going to be made public. It's a standard deposition. They sit in front of the House committee and answer a series of questions in relation to the ongoing investigation. Like, this is what happens when the government has a hold of one of these cases. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the fact that there's always some barrier being put up to where this system can't actually do what it needs to do to these people. And it's put in place by people who are sympathizers to it all. People who are involved in it all. Who are playing on the same board that these people are playing on. It's their co-workers that are allowing her to invoke these rights. It's these guys' co-workers who haven't stripped her of her citizenship when she was initially found guilty. And it is the people in this broken system that allows her to invoke STFU rights when she's got millions of words to say. So that's part of the issue, is we're not getting the answers to the questions that aren't just questions. You're answering for things. You're answering for your direct involvement in crimes, heinous crimes. You didn't just take a cup of lemonade from the little girl's lemonade stand and not give her her quarter. You didn't get down on your luck and stole a package off someone's porch in hopes to pawn the contents of the package for some drug money. That's not what's happened. What's happened is some of the most heinous crimes against humanity. And it's being protected. It's literally being protected. We know who's being protected by. We know who it is.
Deposition, this is what they're going to get.
Mr. Chairman, can I ask you about Ilhan Omar for a moment?
Can I ask you a question
Mr. Chairman,
about...
No, I don't want to hear about
was said
Ilhan
between
Omar.
Todd Blanche and Ghislaine Maxwell. Ghislaine Maxwell is a monster. She facilitated, aided, and abetted Epstein's crimes, engaged in those crimes. She was the enforcer who threatened the victims and the survivors of those.
Yeah, and she deserves her human rights. She deserves this benefit of the doubt. No, she does not. When you have to, like, and they're not just overframing her as a monster. No, victims. The victims have framed her as a monster. The victims have framed her in a light that if a normal person was to see how she actually is and who she actually is, that normal person would probably never recover and be sick to their stomach forever. Literally sick to their stomach. The things that she was accused of and ultimately found guilty of. And there's even more to know about it, which is why she invokes her Fifth Amendment rights. If she didn't have more to hide, she would have told. But she knows that the more she knows, the worse it looks for her and as well as everybody else. So she cannot be talking. So of course Bibi Netanyahu is going to say, hey, shut her up. Tell her to invoke her Fifth Amendment right. She's being tried and she's being held in an American prison, so she's allowed to have their rights. Tell her to plead the Fifth. And her lawyer's like, oh yeah, duh. Man, why didn't I have her do that way back?
Into the eyes of that monster in the deposition.
Again, Dave Chappelle did it. Yeah, his skit was about Bush and the oil thing with Iraq, but he kind of showed you exactly how it works. I plead the Fifth. F-I-F. Fifth. I plead the Fifth. Fifth. She probably did. She probably didn't even say anything. She probably pulled Dave Chappelle's skit up and just sat and pointed.
What we did not get were any substantive answers to the questions that were asked that would advance our investigation, to help us learn who were the other men involved in these crimes. To help
Men
us
and
learn
women.
who were the others who knew about
Because we've
these
seen
crimes.
some lady names on some of those emails.
To help us learn what exactly was said between Todd Blanche and Ghislaine Maxwell that led her to be transferred to a minimum security prison.
Unacceptable.
What we did get was another episode in her long-running campaign for clemency from President Trump. And President Trump could end that today. He could rule out clemency for Ghislaine Maxwell, the monster. He could rule out a pardon for Ghislaine Maxwell, the monster. The question for all of us today is, why hasn't he done that, and why won't he do that?
No, that's not the main question. The main question is, why is she even being given rights? Why has her citizenship not been revoked? That's the main question. You revoke her citizenship, it tells her you don't have access to the Fifth Amendment right. The Fifth Amendment right is afforded to American citizens, and you're not one. I don't give a damn if she moved here, her parents moved here right when she was conceived. She is not a United States citizen. No, I don't care. But she didn't. She was already a grown-up person when she moved here and got her citizenship. So revoke it. Revoke it. Revoke that Fifth Amendment access and make her speak. And if the President of the United States doesn't want to make sure that she does speak, then guess what? All of you get recalled. All of you. Trump's administration and no matter, I don't care. Don't care. No, there's no such thing as a future administration that will have trust. That will have the trust of the people. Not at all, ever. If you don't make her talk, good luck. Good luck the rest of your lives trying to get anybody to trust the government. Good luck. If you do not make her talk. And it's easy. The easiest way to make her talk is revoke her citizenship and then revoke this ability. Revoke her access to this. That happens when you revoke her citizenship. You revoke her citizenship, it instantly cuts off access to this amendment. The only thing she will be afforded from there is a speedy and fair trial. I'll give her that one. She can have that one. That's the right she can have. She doesn't have the right to remain silent anymore. She has the right to speak the hell up. Speak up, speak the truth, and speak it fully. Or be sent away. I'm sure some people down in that Guatemalan prison would love a sex criminal down there. A heinous sex criminal. I'm sure they would love one in there. I don't care who she is. I don't care what family she comes from. Come see me. I'll send you all there myself. She does not deserve to have access to this amendment. She does not have access. She should not be a citizen and have access to any amendments, any rights.
I'm going to turn it over.
She gets human rights to not have her head cut off for what she's been convicted of. That's what she gets.
To my colleague from the Commonwealth of Virginia, Suhas Subramanian.
Thank you. Just to reiterate, Ghislaine Maxwell should have no hope of ever getting out of prison. But today, she, through her lawyer, explicitly stated that she wants to be out of prison through a clemency that this president would grant. And she is campaigning over and over again to get that pardon from President Trump. And this president has not ruled it out. And so that is why she's continuing to not cooperate with our investigation. The reality is she is a monster. She should be behind bars. She should stay there. She should answer our questions, but she is not willing to do so because she is looking for that pardon and looking to absolve any people related to this administration. So we will continue to call for this president to completely rule out a pardon for Ghislaine Maxwell.
Again,
I'm going to hand it over now to the representative from Texas, Ms. Crockett.
this administration has shown no better ability to run this country than the last administration or the one before that. Actually, I can't say the one before that because Trump first term was like, America is back, baby. America is back. Then we get Biden and it's like, oh, I guess not. And then Trump comes back. We're like, yes, America is back. Now we're like, what happened to all the America stuff? What happened to all the America stuff? So in my entire life, America has been failing. America has been failing. And I'm going to say it was failing when I was a child because I saw the struggles my mom was going through. I mean, I saw them. I wasn't old enough to really understand what was going on, but I know, I see the struggles that my mom was going through. I see the things that my mom had to do. Nothing too breaking of character. But my mom had to do some stuff to really survive raising children, even when I was a kid. So as far as I can tell, the government has never been good for America. And it's only gotten worse. So much worse, we're protecting evil people, like really, truly the worst of the worst people.
Attorney, I was wondering.
All right, I'm done with that. Yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about last night. No. This right here.
After the bombshell release of the Epstein files these past few weeks, one of the biggest takeaways now is that the FBI reportedly could not find any evidence that Jeffrey Epstein trafficked girls to others, to the rich, to the powerful, to the elite. Now, many of you might be saying, what? How can that be true? Is that really true? Let's try to get to the bottom of it. Welcome to...
See, and when I was watching, I actually watched this episode, and this is one of the things I was wanting to talk about, is that that kind of statement by the FBI is, it's one of those there's more to it statement. There's the actual statement that you speak. We haven't found any evidence that shows him trafficking people to powerful people. But what we do see that coincides with a lot of information that we've already had over the course of the decades, there is a lot of information that says that there's something even deeper going on than just a child sex trafficking ring. And then it goes into talking about how the same symbols are showing up not only in the dark net side of these conversations, but also showing up within the inner circles of Jeffrey Epstein, inner circles of Bill, Hillary Clinton, and the Obamas. Because Pizzagate took place when Barack Obama was in office. Pizzagate was an Obama thing. And Barack Obama himself was the one having tens of thousands of dollars worth of pizza and hot dogs brought to the White House. And we've seen in our own little search investigations that they would need to rent out. I mean, they could do it at that kind of event with that many people needing that much food at the White House, but somebody would have been able to watch from the fence and the gates because it would have taken place in the lawn. That's the only place for the White House to be able to house like 7,000 plus people, something like that. A sports stadium is the only place that could house that many people in DC. And house that many people that need that much food. And that was during Obama. That was during Obama. Yeah, John Podesta. He was an Obama person. He was a Clinton person, but he was also an Obama person too. Let's not forget let's not protect Barack Obama like he's some Jesus incarnate for all you Christian folk. Barack Obama is part of the same world. This weird, evil, scheming world. So that's, when it comes to this, it just goes to prove how incompetent Kash Patel and the FBI are. It goes to prove how incompetent Pam Bondi, Dan Bongino, and Kash Patel actually are. One's a washed up Secret Service agent / podcaster. One has no idea how he got into the position, and the other is a DEI hire. Pam Bondi is a DEI hire. That rich white woman, no real backing of her skill set, getting placed in a position where she's speaking out her backside, knowing she should just shut her face, shut your hole, do your job, and release Epstein files. Unredacted Epstein files. But no, she's incompetent. She's incompetent like the rest of them. But they're not incompetent by accident. It is part of their plan, their game. They're going to feign incompetence for the next 3 years. And then they're going to pressure the new administration. Pretend like there was some political barrier that was thrown up at their feet and they just couldn't get things done. It's a pattern. And they'll continue to play it. Please don't chew the carpet, dude. You can chew the shoes and the furniture, but not the carpet. So yeah, that's basically what I wanted to say about that. Of course, the FBI is going to say that they found no evidence of a sex trafficking ring for the powerful elite. And to hear, it's sad to hear this channel entertaining that, because I love watching this channel. It's usually straight shot, straight reporting, but this kind of like takes a side. It's like, yeah, we believe the FBI. We're not going to question anything about it. We're going to believe the FBI. And that's what I felt when I watched this. But that's essentially what I wanted to do in the opener. Because I have to start heading to class here soon. So I finally fixed it. Took him 3 years to fix it. So yeah, I know I said I was going to come back last night, but it just got real late doing school stuff. So that's goofy. Like, it actually matters. The AI looks like it's really doing something. It's real bad. It's not what you should be worrying about. This is what you should be worrying about right here. Not some AI thing. It's good to sit and laugh at it, but get back on task. Solve the crimes for these people. Goodness. So, yep. With my rabbit jumping on top of thing back there. Can't see him because of my backpack, but you can kind of see him right here. Pops up in this little sliver. Right there. So I gotta go. There's cables back there, and he's gonna eat them. So later on, peace out, Girl Scout.